What's up? Good evening or good middle of the night, depending on where you are. I'm Grant Cohn. The Niners whooped the Indianapolis Colts 48-27. Big statement win. I mean, yeah, the Colts have lost 6-7, and they're not going to go to the playoffs, and their quarterback's 65 years old. But this was a big win for the 49ers, a big performance for Brock Purdy. I'm going to get into what this means for Brock, what this means for Robert Saleh, what this means for George Kittle. He had a great first half, but hurt his ankle. I'm going to talk about what's different about this team. I asked Kyle, I asked George, I asked Trent. They all gave different answers, and they all seemed a little perplexed because it's a tough question. It's hard to say. Also going to talk about the Bears and whose stock is up, whose stock is down. First, I want to shout out my sponsor, Fabletics. I was going to wear my Fabletics suit to the game, and I brought it with me to Indianapolis. But the thing about it is that it's hella cold in Indy, and the Fabletics suit that I got is great because it's breathable. It's really nice in California, but for out here, I should have got the wool Fabletics if they have it. So Fabletics is great. It's definitely athleisure wear, and what I like about it so much is it's breathable, but I would die in Indianapolis, and I just needed to layer a little bit more. So it's in the hotel room. That's on me, but I love my Fabletics stuff, and I'm going to be wearing it the rest of the season because the Niners aren't going on the road anymore unless they lose one of these upcoming games. So shout out Fabletics. They already have amazing deals. Right now, they're running their biggest sale of the year on top of that. And I've got an exclusive offer just for you, 80% off everything when you sign up as a VIP. Head to fabletics.com/cone. Sign up as a VIP to get 80% off everything. This is only available through my link, so go to fabletics.com/cone to sign up as a VIP and get 80% off. That's fabletics.com/COHN. We're also sponsored by 1-800-CONTACTS. I'm not wearing my Fabletics, and I'm not wearing my contacts either. I need contacts. I got a messed up eye. I would have been a professional baseball player, but my left eye just isn't quite as good as my right eye, which sucks because I'm a right-handed hitter, and I'm looking with my left eye. Again, if I had just had 1-800-CONTACTS in high school, I probably would have hit dingers. Bombs. Never hit a bomb in my life. I hit one home run when I was 17 at Caldecott Field in Oakland. There's no fence in left center. So, I just legged it out because I'm built like that. But if I had 1-800-CONTACTS, again, I'd be in the MLB, not even talking to you right now because they're the leaders in online contact lens delivery. They have fast free shipping. They got free returns. They got an express eye exam online. They got best price guarantees, man. They got it all. And you know what? Getting contacts doesn't have to be a hassle. Who said it? I didn't say it had to be a hassle. Someone else said that, and I disagree with it. Let 1-800-CONTACTS get the contact lenses you need right now. Order online at 1-800-CONTACTS.com or download the free 1-800-CONTACTS app. Thank you, 1-800-CONTACTS, and thank you, Fabletics, and thank you, Brock Purdy, for listening to my advice. I have been giving Brock Purdy clear advice because I'm essentially a coach. Have I ever played football, tackle football? Yeah, a couple times when I was like in 7th grade. I didn't like it. It was painful, and I wasn't on a team. It was just pickup tackle football. But I'm still a great coach, an incredible quality control coach. And all I told Brock was, man, you're a good player, Brock, and you make these incredible plays. But sometimes it seems like you try too hard to prove that. And the day that you try too hard is often Monday. He's had some incredible performances on Monday Night Football. Actually, 2 years ago on Christmas, Monday night game, played against Lamar Jackson, was going to be the MVP. He shit the bed. And he will tell you that he shit the bed. He had too much to prove. He wanted to show that he was the MVP. He showed that he wasn't. And in this game, yeah, he had to score a lot of points. But what he had to do was also not turn the ball over, and he did at the very end after throwing 5 touchdown passes. I'm going to let that slide. Anytime you got a 5-to-1 TD to INT ratio, I'm going to let that interception slide. Although that interception is the kind of stuff that Brock Purdy does that drives me crazy. But what was so impressive about this performance is that it felt like Brock Purdy 2.0, like mature Brock. He was able to find a balance between protecting the football for the most part and being hyper aggressive, being the old Brock Purdy. Man, if he can find that balance every week, he's going to win a Super Bowl. He could win an MVP. He could go to the Hall of Fame. He played like a great quarterback. We were all talking about Phillip Rivers, and he was really good in the first half, but Brock Purdy was just better. And as a 37, I feel like everyone older than 35 was kind of secretly rooting for Phillip Rivers. You know what I mean? everyone whose back hurts a little bit, everyone who can't run like they used to, was kind of rooting for Phillip Rivers. Like, hey man, um, do it for us. And you know what? Youth prevailed in this game. Phillip Rivers, God love him, he got worse as the game went on. And Brock Purdy got better as the game went on. He needs to play like this. This is the first time. This is his, no, what do I want to say? No, he's won a game throwing a pick before. He's undefeated in the regular season when he doesn't throw a pick. He's 19-0 in the regular season when he doesn't throw a pick. His only loss ever not throwing a pick was in the Super Bowl when he lost to the Chiefs. So all of that playmaker Purdy, it's great, man, but it's secondary to responsible point guard Purdy. And he was able to do both in this game. And again, like I said earlier in the year, I like Mac Jones better. What I liked about Mac Jones is that he gives the offense the ability to throw 40, 45, 50 passes and still win. Brock hasn't done that before, as far as I know. How many passes did he throw in this game? 34. And he won. That's great. Brock has only thrown 40 passes in a game once. It was against Miami last year. He lost. They scored 17 points. So I liked that Mac could make the offense pass first, considering the running game hasn't really been doing anything until tonight. But if Brock can do this, if he can throw all these touchdown passes, if he can avoid all these sacks, if he can play like this without turning the ball over, then there's definitely a gear that he can reach that Mac Jones can't. I mean, the touchdown throw where he's rolling to his right, Mac Jones isn't going to do that. There are plays that Brock Purdy is going to make on a game-by-game basis that Mac just won't even attempt. Does Mac have a better arm than Brock? Yeah. Is Mac just as accurate as Brock? Yeah. And is Mac a really good pocket quarterback that you can trust to put the game on the shoulders if the running game isn't working? Yes. But again, if Brock Purdy can protect the football and make plays, then that's what you're paying for. That's exactly why he got the contract, because he can play like this. And there's not that many quarterbacks who can do it. I mean, we don't want him to be Alex Smith. We don't want a cautious game manager. We just want a guy who makes smart decisions quickly. And I thought Brock made one bad decision the whole game. His interception, it wasn't 100% his fault. Like, the play call that's on Kyle. Don't call that pass over the middle up 2 scores with 4:30 left, because your quarterback's a little short. You're throwing to Kendrick Bourne. Just don't take that risk. You could have handed off in that situation. You could have thrown to the sideline. Just a less risky pass. So I don't like the call from Kyle. I don't like the throw from Brock. It was high. And then Kendrick, catch the damn ball. After the game, Kendrick's so cute. He's like walking around in the locker room being like, it's my fault. I should have caught it. And it's like, well, way to take credit for your responsibility for it, but it actually wasn't 100% your fault. Like, the pass was way over your head. And again, I don't have as big of an issue with the throw. I think every quarterback's going to be off target a little bit here and there. I just don't like the risk. You're up 14. It's 4:30 left. Why are you calling that play? And that's why it goes to Kyle. There's these little moments with Kyle where it's like, man, can you just seal the victory? It's not that hard. You run the ball. Look, Jim Harbaugh is a very good coach too. He and Kyle are very different. Jim Harbaugh, when he gets the lead, it's so hard to come back against him because he's not trying to run up points and stat pad. He's just killing the clock. And I'd like to see Kyle do that too. But I'm really nitpicking right now. 48 points. Special teams was great. Defense really improved as the game went along. And Brock, this might have been the best performance of Brock's career. Although I don't want to go overboard because you're playing an AFC team that's kind of in the, it's kind of in the grave anyway. You got touched one time. It's going to get tougher for him. And, this might have been his best statistical performance. But again, what I like about football so much is stats don't tell the story. Stats are usually team stats. And a guy can throw for 300 yards and 5 touchdowns and be great. And then maybe the next week against a better team, he could throw for 250, 2 touchdowns and a pick and be even better because of what's at stake and who he's facing. So I would give Brock an A+, maybe an A++ for this guy. I mean, 5 touchdowns. Like, Yeah, he didn't get touched, but he was pretty freaking perfect. I'd give him an A+ for this performance, but I even think he could be better. I think he could be more impressive with more on the line. And he's going to have to be better next week against the Bears because that's a playoff team. The Colts aren't a playoff team. And man, their defense was shitty tonight. But Brock made him look shitty. He gets credit for that. DBZ Warlord says, still think Mac is as good or better than Purdy. I think I just addressed that. I would have to say that this version of Purdy is better than Mac. It's better than most quarterbacks in the league. But can he keep it up? It's been 4 games in a row. It's been terrific. That Panthers game wasn't that long ago. And, now he's going to be facing – that's the one playoff team he's faced since he came back. And he lost. No, he won. But he threw 3 picks and scored 20 points. So what's he going to look like against other playoff teams? He looked great in this game. But it's the Colts. It's an AFC team. They're kind of a one-off opponent. The Bears, you face them next week. You might have to face them again in the playoffs. The Seahawks, you might have to face them again in the playoffs. So the way I look at it is the playoffs started today. Everything that happened this season doesn't matter. The playoffs started today, and the Niners are still alive. Had they lost, they still be in the playoffs, but it'd be embarrassing to lose to Phillip Rivers. So good for them. Playoffs started. They had that playoff mentality. YM Glove Blue says, man, I need you to help Tonjes out the way you did Pearsall. The robbery was insane. Man, I asked Kyle after the game, I was like, did you consider challenging that? And he was like, I did, but I got some bad advice on the other challenge. He's hilarious when he's in a good mood because that was a terrible challenge earlier. And I'm glad he threw someone else under the bus for that. Like, don't take credit for that. Tom Cruise 49 says, B-Day, shout out to Jorge Hernandez. He loves Jimmy G. Quinn Howard says they were really picking on Luter early in the game. Why do you think they didn't start Lucas instead? They haven't played Lucas on the outside, and maybe they should. El Escorpion says, if the Niners win the Super Bowl, big if they're for sure, does that make his contract worth every penny? Man, if Brock plays like this in the Super Bowl and wins, then hell yeah. Hell yeah. Tyler Barton says, Grant, Warren only had 3 catches. I lost my parlay. I'm so sorry. That's why I told you, man. You got to make your own decisions in life when it's your money. I love losing your money. I don't like losing my money. I just want to say, though, that Tyler Warren was on my fantasy team, my dynasty team, and I won. I had Tyler Warren. That dude had Jonathan Taylor. I didn't even start Justin Herbert because I was trying to make it hard. I was trying to make it, trying to make it even. Played Jordan Love instead. Won. Now I'm in the finals. 13-2 record. I'm so good at dynasty football. I should stop talking crap, though, because the football guys, the dynasty guys are going to hate me. Christian Rocha says, for what it's worth, 5 wins at Levi's gets him number 6. You know what my fantasy team is called in dynasty? Quest for 1. Quest for 1. None of this quest for 6. I just want 1. Sudden Chaos, been a member for 31 months, says, thank you. Wasn't their D healthier than ours and better D-line? Their secondary was kind of banged up. They were missing both their corners. So I don't know. That was pathetic. Maybe the Niners just got it like that. Food Facts every day says only 33 quarterbacks in history throw 5 touchdowns in a game. Well, that means that Brock's one of the 33 greatest quarterbacks of all time, as I've always said. Always. Aisha Malik says, was Kittle limping when he walked up to the podium in the postgame press conference? Ooh, good question. And the answer was, yeah, a little limp. I'm going to talk about George Kittle's ankle in a minute. There was a little limp. Facet 925 says Kittle is the best tight end in the NFL. It is not close. Yup. But I think we see why Kyle Shanahan doesn't give him a lot of targets consistently. I think we saw that why tonight. I'm going to get into that in a minute. The Arcade Master 24 says, how realistic is a deep Niner playoff run or even the Super Bowl this year? I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of their defense. They have a Super Bowl offense, it appears. They have a Super Bowl special teams, it appears. Is the defense god-awful or just mediocre? I don't know. I thought it was pretty mediocre in the second half, which if they play like that the rest of the season, then yeah, it's realistic. I love you, Grant, says Andres. Man, I love you too, man. I've been meaning to say that. I've been holding that in for years. Propa says Grant wearing a beanie in an indoor stadium is why they make fun of us West Coasters. You still the man, though, Grant. Man, it's cold out here, dude. It's kind of cold in here, too. I'm just saying, I don't think those are double pane glasses. David Trinidad says, forget stats, Purdy or Rivers. Who threw the more beautiful spirals? Please give me an answer worth 5. Dude, Brock was immaculate and perfect today.